chosen ones. This is a season where you are being reminded that not everything people say, not everything people show, is the truth. They hurt you, they lied about you, and when their actions could no longer be hidden, they played the victim to cover themselves. But you must know with every part of your spirit that God saw the truth. The universe witnessed every word, every intention, every manipulation. The pain you endured was not invisible, even though they tried to make it seem like you were the problem. This message is to bring you clarity, strength, and confirmation. You were not wrong for feeling betrayed. You were not wrong or seeing through the masks. And you are not wrong for still standing today, even after the lies were spoken against you. This journey is part of your path as a chosen one, and this path requires understanding that betrayal is often the price of being set apart. I want to pause for a moment to remind you to stay with me until the very end of this message. What we are speaking about today carries energy, carries transformation, carries alignment. If you stay until the end, you will feel lighter, clearer, and more empowered. And I invite you, chosen ones, to write in the comments your warmest wishes for your own life and the lives of others. Type those wishes boldly, speak them into the world, because words carry power. And if you feel led, add the number 66 with your comment. This will be your seal of intention, a sign of your wishes energizing the universe and beginning to manifest. Just once we do this, and then we allow the rest of the message to pour into your spirit, unshaken and pure. They hurt you. They lied about you. They painted pictures of you that were never real. People who once smiled in your face, who once celebrated you, allowed envy and fear to twist their hearts. Instead of being honest about their own darkness, they chose to project it onto you. When they saw your light, it exposed their shadows. And instead of healing, instead of owning their actions, they chose to strike at you. They chose to harm you with gossip, with slander, with manipulation. They wanted others to see you through their broken lens. And when the truth began to show, when others started to notice cracks in their story, what did they do? They played the victim. Suddenly they were the ones who had been hurt. Suddenly they were the ones who had been betrayed. They twisted the narrative so carefully, hoping people would pity them. But chosen one, never forget. God saw the truth. There were nights you questioned yourself. You asked, did I really do something wrong? Was I too harsh? Was I the problem? You replayed conversations in your head, trying to make sense of the chaos. That confusion was not accidental. It was part of the strategy. When they played the victim, they wanted you to question your own reality. They wanted you to carry guilt for what you never did. They wanted you to believe their lies so strongly that you silenced your own voice. This is one of the hardest tests for chosen ones, when the truth is inside you, but the crowd is cheering for a lie. It hurts deeply. It makes you feel isolated. But remember, chosen one, truth does not need an audience to be true. Truth stands even if the entire world is convinced of a lie. And in time, God allows truth to rise like the sun, impossible to hide. They lied because the truth about you threatened them. They played victim because accountability would have exposed them. And they hurt you because they could not control the light in you. When people cannot control you, they try to control how others see you. This is why smear campaigns happen. This is why rumors spread. This is why whispers in the dark try to shape your name. But chosen ones are built for this. Your spirit carries resilience that their lies cannot destroy. Their temporary victory, their short-lived attention, their sympathy from others. It all fades. What remains is your character, your authenticity, and the undeniable truth that time always reveals. Do not think for 1 second that God was silent. Every tear you cried, every lonely night you endured, every moment you wanted to shout your truth but chose silence to protect your peace, God recorded it. The universe kept account. Divine justice does not sleep. You are not forgotten. You are not overlooked. In fact, this entire experience is shaping you for a greater purpose. When lies are told about you, it forces you to stand firmly in who you are. When false victims cry louder than your truth, it teaches you that validation from others is not your fuel. And when betrayal comes from those you once loved or trusted, it reminds you that your destiny cannot be tied to fragile hearts that fear your light. The pattern of being hurt, lied about, and watching others play the victim is not new for chosen ones. It has happened to those before you, it is happening now, and it will happen again. Why? Because light always exposes darkness, and darkness always resists exposure. But every single time, light wins. Every single time the truth breaks through. People may be deceived for a while, but not forever. Masks eventually slip. Stories eventually contradict themselves. And the same people who once believed their performance will begin to question. They will see inconsistencies. They will notice the patterns. And slowly, truth will reclaim its place. And when that day comes, chosen one, you will not even need to defend yourself. The truth will speak on its own, and the same mouths that once doubted you will whisper in awe about how you stood tall through the storm. You see, when they played the victim, it was because they thought pity would protect them. They thought if they could cry loud enough, people would stop asking questions. They thought if they could rewrite the story, they could erase your role in it. But pity is not power. Lies are not lasting, and manipulation always unravels. Do not be surprised when those who once defended them start to distance themselves. Do not be shocked when people suddenly return to you, admitting they were wrong. Some may never apologize directly, but their actions will show it. You will notice the shift. The truth has a way of pulling back every curtain, even without your effort. Chosen one, your power is that you remained true to yourself while they lied. You remained compassionate even while they tried to destroy you. And most importantly, you remained in alignment with truth while they built a web of deception. This is what separates you. This is why you are chosen. It is not because life is easy for you. It is because life requires you to stand where others would crumble. It requires you to embody truth when lies would be easier. It requires you to endure the weight of betrayal without losing your soul to bitterness. And through it all, you become stronger, sharper, wiser. You carry lessons that cannot be learned in peace, only in trial. So when you think back on those moments, remember this. You did not lose. They may have thought they won by turning others against you. They may have thought they won by crying louder, by playing the victim, by convincing others. But the real victory belongs to the one who stays aligned with truth. Time is your ally. God is your witness. And justice, though it may seem slow, is certain. Their lies are like fragile glass. One day they shatter. And when they do, it will not just be you who knows the truth. The world around them will see it too, and in that moment, chosen one, you will realize that everything you endured was not in vain. Chosen ones, as we move deeper into this message, understand that the very experience of being lied about and watching someone else play the victim is not random. It is a test, a lesson, and a preparation. The chosen are not placed on this earth to live ordinary lives. The chosen are vessels of light, of transformation, of influence that goes beyond what the eye can see. And because of this, darkness seeks them out. It is no coincidence that you were targeted. It is no coincidence that those lies were crafted against you. It is no coincidence that the one who hurt you tried to flip the narrative to make you look like the aggressor. These events unfold because your existence itself is disruptive to deception. Your very presence forces truth to surface, even when people try to bury it. And those who cannot handle that pressure will attempt to twist reality to protect themselves from exposure. You must understand that when they hurt you, it was not simply about you. Their actions were a reflection of their own inner battles, their unresolved wounds, their fears of inadequacy. Instead of confronting their reflection, they redirected the blame onto you. They created a story where they were the fragile victim and you were the one to blame. This role reversal was their shield. It was their survival mechanism. But chosen ones, do not mistake their performance for real strength. Playing the victim is not courage. Playing the victim is not truth. It is a temporary performance that requires constant feeding, constant attention, constant validation. It is exhausting for them, but they cling to it because it protects them from facing their own shadows. The dangerous part of this manipulation is that it can make others believe lies. There are always people who will listen to the one who cries the loudest, not the one who lives with integrity. Some are quick to believe gossip without seeking facts. Some are more comfortable siding with the victim narrative because it feels easier than questioning the person they know. But even in those moments, you must not break. You must not waste your energy chasing down every rumor, correcting every lie, or begging others to believe you. That is not your role. Your role is to stand firm in the truth you know, to continue walking in integrity, and to trust that time will do what time always does, reveal what was hidden. And while they craft their performance, while they gain temporary sympathy, while they gather an audience for their story, remember this: God is not swayed by appearances. The divine does not look at tears shed for manipulation. The universe does not align with lies. Truth is the frequency that resonates higher, stronger, and longer than deception. Lies can echo for a season, but truth reverberates for eternity. This is why chosen ones must endure in silence sometimes. It is not silence of defeat. It is silence of power. It is the silence that trusts divine timing. It is the silence that says, I don't need to prove myself because truth already knows my name. Many chosen ones feel that deep frustration of watching someone who hurt them gain pity from others. It feels like injustice. It feels like betrayal stacked on betrayal. But there is a hidden gift in this. The gift is clarity. When people choose to believe lies about you, they reveal their character. They reveal how easily they can be swayed. They reveal that their loyalty was not as strong as you thought. In this way, the manipulation clears your path. Those who are meant to remain with you will eventually see the truth and stand with you. Those who fall away were never truly anchored in your journey. And though it hurts to lose people, the chosen cannot afford to carry dead weight. Your path is too important. Your energy is too valuable. Your destiny is too high to be burdened by those who cannot discern truth from lies. They lied because they feared exposure. They played the victim because they feared accountability. and they hurt you because they feared your power. When you understand this, you stop personalizing the attack. You stop wondering why it had to happen to you. Instead, you see that it was never really about you. It was about the light within you that they could not control. Chosen ones carry an energy that disrupts illusions, and because of that, illusions will always try to fight back. But you are not here to fight illusions. You are here to embody truth, to stand as a living witness that light always wins. The beauty of this journey is that, in time, everything hidden comes to the surface. Lies unravel. Stories contradict themselves. People begin to question the narrative. Those who once blindly supported the false victim begin to notice the patterns of manipulation. Slowly, the sympathy dries up. Slowly, the mask slips. Slowly, the truth stands alone. And in that moment, chosen one, you will not even need to explain. Your life will be the evidence. Your consistency will be the testimony. Your endurance will be the proof that while others were busy acting, you were busy living. And when that contrast becomes clear, no one will be able to deny what has always been true. God saw it all, and truth never left your side. There is another layer to this. When someone lies about you and plays the victim, they think they are winning. They think they are safe. But what they don't realize is that every lie plants a seed that will one day demand accountability. Every false story is a debt that must be repaid. The universe balances itself. God's justice is not mocked. What is done in the dark always demands exposure. And when that day comes, it will not come with warning. The same audience that once believed their lies will be present to witness their unraveling. And while they scramble to explain, you will remain unshaken because you always carried the truth inside you. Chosen ones, let this bring you peace. You do not have to fight back in the way they expect. You do not have to match their manipulation with anger, or their lies with arguments, or their performance with your own. That is not your calling. Your calling is to remain steady, to continue walking in light, to trust the process. Because while they played the victim for the crowd, you stood as the victor in silence. While they begged for sympathy, you leaned on strength. And while they tried to erase the truth, God was engraving it deeper into the fabric of reality. Nothing can erase what is divinely witnessed. Nothing can rewrite what is sealed in truth. You are not defined by their lies. You are not defined by their betrayal. You are not defined by their victim role. You are defined by your resilience, by your authenticity, by your refusal to break even under pressure. That is why you are chosen. And that is why, no matter how loud their cries may sound, the truth will always outlast them. It may take days, months, or even years, but the day of revelation always comes. And when it does, you will be reminded that you were never alone, never unseen, never forgotten. Chosen ones, the longer you walk this path, the clearer it becomes that betrayal, lies, and manipulation are not accidents in your life story. They are woven into the very fabric of your journey as refining fires. They strip away illusions. They burn off what does not serve you, and they reveal strength in you that you did not know you carried. When they hurt you, when they lied, when they flipped the script and played the victim, it was not only to test you, it was to awaken you. It forced you to look deeper into yourself, to ask hard questions, to separate your true identity from the false images others tried to project onto you. This is the training of the chosen. You do not grow through ease. You grow through friction, and every act of deception against you is fuel for your transformation. Think back to the way they performed their role as the victim. Every sigh, every story, every twisted detail was carefully crafted to make others doubt you and pity them. But look closer, chosen one. Look at how much energy it took them to maintain that image. Look at how many words they had to spill, how many explanations they had to invent, how many contradictions they had to juggle. Now compare it to your position. You did not have to fabricate. You did not have to over-explain. You did not have to perform. All you had to do was be. That is the difference between truth and lies. Truth is steady, silent, and powerful, without effort. Lies are noisy, fragile, and exhausting to maintain. This is why, in the long run, truth always prevails. Lies consume themselves. Deception eats away at its own foundation until it collapses. You may not see it yet, but the collapse is already in motion. For those who hurt you and lied about you, their false victimhood will eventually become their own trap. The more they exaggerate, the more inconsistencies appear. The more they twist stories, the more contradictions expose them. The sympathy they gathered will not last forever, because no mask can be worn without slipping. People may take time to see it, but eyes always open eventually. And when they do, the same mouths that once praised their victim act will begin to question it. The very stage they performed on will become the place of their exposure. This is divine balance at work. This is the universe refusing to let lies stand as truth indefinitely. Chosen ones often feel a deep ache in these seasons. It is not just the pain of being hurt, but the sting of being misunderstood. To be misunderstood when you know your intentions were pure, when you know your actions were aligned with truth, is one of the deepest wounds. But understand this, being misunderstood by man does not mean you are misunderstood by God. Heaven knows your heart. The divine sees your motives. The unseen witnesses your reality. And that is enough. You do not live for the validation of the crowd. You live for alignment with truth. When you anchor yourself in this, the sting of misunderstanding loses its power. It may still hurt, but it will no longer define you. The enemy of your soul always tries to use these moments to make you question yourself. It whispers, maybe you were too harsh. Maybe you should have stayed quiet. Maybe you really are the problem. But chosen one, recognize that voice for what it is. It is not self-reflection. It is doubt planted by manipulation. The lies told about you were designed not only to deceive others, but to fracture your confidence. They wanted you to break under the weight of false guilt. They wanted you to carry shame that was never yours to carry. But you must release it. The guilt is not yours. The shame is not yours. The burden is not yours. You have to put it down and walk forward, because carrying it will only keep you stuck in their web of deceit. And let us not ignore the irony of it all. They hurt you, and yet they positioned themselves as the wounded one. They lied about you, and yet they made it seem like you betrayed them. They attacked your character, and yet they made it appear as if you attacked theirs. This inversion is not just manipulation, it is projection. They projected their actions onto you so they would not have to face themselves. They saw in you a mirror of what they feared to acknowledge in themselves. But mirrors do not lie, and you, chosen one, are a mirror. Your presence reflects truth back to those around you, and not everyone is ready to face it. So instead, they try to break the mirror. But breaking a mirror does not erase the reflection. It only scatters it wider. As you sit with this truth, understand that your silence in the face of lies is not weakness. It is wisdom. Every word you do not waste on defending yourself is a word you save for creating, for building, for moving forward. Defending yourself to those committed to misunderstanding you is energy wasted. They do not want truth. They want drama. And you were never called to feed drama. You were called to walk with purpose. Let them talk. Let them perform. Let them play the victim. Time is the great revealer, and silence is the great strength. There is more power in your stillness than in their noise. And chosen ones, know this. There will come a day when the lies no longer echo, when the victim act no longer convinces anyone, when the truth stands unchallenged. On that day, you will not even need to say, "I told you so." Your life will speak louder than any defense could. Your growth, your peace, your continued rise will be undeniable evidence. And those who once believed the false story will look at you with new eyes, eyes that see what was always true. They may not admit it aloud, but within themselves, they will know they were deceived. And you will stand free, not just from their lies, but from the weight of needing anyone to validate your truth. That is the victory of the chosen. That is the power of walking in alignment with what is real. Chosen ones, as we continue, it is essential to understand the depth of what it means to be targeted by lies, hurt, and manipulation, while remaining steadfast in your truth. Those who have hurt you are often lost in their own illusions, believing that by attacking you, they can elevate themselves or cover their own insecurities. They do not realize that the energy they expend on deceit is a weight that drags them further into their own darkness. Every lie they tell, every manipulation they execute, is a reflection of their inner chaos. And while they attempt to control narratives, you, chosen one, embody clarity. Your light does not need justification. It does not need to be defended. It simply exists, resilient and unwavering. It is a strange phenomenon, chosen ones, that those who inflict pain often crave recognition for their suffering. They exaggerate wounds, dramatize events, and create a spectacle around themselves as if the world must feel their hurt. They may attempt to gather allies, convincing others to side with them, painting themselves as misunderstood martyrs. But remember, the truth does not require an audience. Truth holds itself, pure and unshakable. And in the stillness, in the quiet moments where you reflect without reacting to the drama, you anchor yourself in a higher frequency. This frequency resonates beyond words, beyond appearances, beyond temporary sympathies. It is the frequency of authenticity, of integrity, of divine alignment. You have already endured what many cannot. You have been scrutinized, questioned, and misrepresented. You have had the experience of watching someone you trusted twist reality to suit their narrative. And yet, here you are, unbroken, still moving forward. This endurance is proof of your chosen nature. Pain has not made you bitter. It has made you aware. Betrayal has not hardened your heart. It has sharpened your perception. Lies have not silenced your voice. They have amplified your discernment. Each act of manipulation you have survived is a step toward deeper wisdom, a step toward recognizing the patterns that exist not only in others, but within yourself as well. Let us speak plainly about projection, chosen ones. When someone lies about you or claims victimhood unjustly, They are projecting their flaws, their fears, their guilt onto you. They cannot bear to face the darkness within themselves, so they attempt to see it in you instead. They hope that by assigning blame elsewhere, they will find relief when in reality, the act only perpetuates their inner turmoil. Recognizing this allows you to detach emotionally from their actions. You no longer have to carry the weight of their projection. You no longer have to feel responsible for their choices. You are free to observe, to understand, and to move forward with clarity. In your journey, chosen ones, patience is your ally. Time has a way of unmasking what cannot remain hidden. Those who lied about you and played the victim will eventually reveal themselves, not because you confront them, but because truth has an inexorable momentum. Patterns will show, inconsistencies will surface, and the same people who once followed the false narrative will awaken to reality. This awakening can happen slowly, sometimes over months or years, but it is inevitable. In this, there is comfort. You do not have to rush the process. You do not have to force understanding. You simply need to maintain your alignment with truth and allow the universe to perform its course. Another lesson in this journey is discernment. Chosen ones are often surrounded by people who cannot or will not see the truth initially. Some will be too comfortable siding with the louder voice, the more dramatic story, the more performative narrative. This does not reflect your failure. It reflects the condition of those around you. Part of being chosen is learning to discern not only truth from deception, but also those who are capable of walking with you in authenticity. Relationships, alliances, and support systems are clarified through these tests. You learn who is anchored in integrity and who is not. You learn whose presence elevates you and whose presence drains you. This knowledge is invaluable, and though it may bring temporary pain, it ensures that your path remains clear for what is truly meant for you. And as you continue with discernment, chosen ones, you realize that those who remain loyal strengthen your journey, while those who fall away make space for what truly belongs in your life. Every test, every betrayal, every false story teaches you to protect your light, honor your energy, and move forward with clarity and confidence. Discernment sharpens your path, defines your purpose, and aligns your life with what truly resonates with your highest self.